I was like, yeah, but like, do you think you'd be happy? Like, if you dated a girl that was like not like me, do you think you'd be happy? And he was like, I mean, I'm like a pretty, content person. Like, I don't know. And I was like, do you think you'd be happier if you were dating someone else? Like, do you think that would make? And he was like, where the hell did this come from? What the fuck? He's like, welcome back to Drinks After Work with your hosts, Shannen and Abby, where we give you that after work happy hour energy and talk about everything other than work.
Yes, welcome to episode 23.
Woo!
Our Jordan episode.
Amazing. I'm so proud of us. We're amazing. Good for us.
I mean, I'm biased, but I agree. If you're new here, follow us on social media. Become a part of the baddest community in the Boston area. You can find us on Instagram. It's at drinksafterwork_, and on TikTok at drinksafterwork _. And we're now on Twitter.
I'm just laughing because the only tweet that we put out is me the other day. And I was like,
that's not true.
I was like, there's a special place in hell for bathroom stall.
Twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. I just tweeted like saying there's a special place in hell for bathroom.
I tweeted before and after that.
Oh.
Shows how much you pay attention. Anyways, you can find us on Twitter. It's at DAW_podcast because all the other names are taken. Mm-hmm. So we're coming for you.
Other names.
Other drinks after work.
Other drinkers. And if you follow us already on social media, just unfollow us and follow us again so that we know that you're there.
Or don't. Maybe you just tell your friends to tell their friends to follow us. But
anyways. Okay, so guys, we've been on we've been keeping the train rolling with Sip and Dip. For those of you that are new, Sip and Dip is where we go to a different Boston restaurant every single week. We try 4 drinks. We rate them on the binary scale. Binary scale is either a 0 or a 1. There's nothing in between. We're not good at math, so we don't try to deal with decimal points or scales of 1 to 10 or whatever. We usually can't count past 5. So binary scale. Last week we went to committee, and this week we're going to be putting out our new episode, and it's at Ceresi. So It was a ton of fun. So we recommend that you guys watch that one.
Yeah, the manager at Ceresi was extremely good to us, and we may or may not have had more than the usual 4 drinks. So yes. if you want entertainment, I would say give it a watch this week because it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
However, let's give the people what they want, because I know last week we said that we would announce the merch giveaway winner during this week's episode, and the time is here.
The time is now.
Okay, so for those of you that missed out, unfortunately, I'm so sorry, but there'll be plenty more giveaways. But basically, we had a merch giveaway contest because we hit 2K followers on Instagram, and we wanted to show our appreciation. So thank you so much to everyone that entered. I honestly was blown away by the response. I think a lot of people entered more than I thought.
Yeah, it was cute.
So what we're gonna do is I have my handy dandy laptop, and so I wrote down everyone's names that entered, and we're gonna put it into a random name generator, and we're gonna pick live for you guys right now. We're not gonna pick, the generator's gonna pick.
Yes. Imagine I just like booby trapped it and like just put my mom in there to win.
Deletes everyone else and just puts Linda like a million times.
I could see myself doing that, but I didn't, guys. I didn't. I'm just kidding. I would never.
Okay. So if you guys, like, obviously up here you can see everyone's names are there. They're all different. We're gonna go down here. All right. You ready for this?
Play ball.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right. That girl, Jen.
Woo!
I don't know your last name, but you won.
Yay! Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats, Jen. So we will shoot you a DM when this episode goes live and find out what you want for your free piece of merch.
Yeah. I recommend either going with the sweatshirt, crop top, or the hoodie. That's just me.
Yes, I'm wearing the cropped, what do you call this? Crew neck?
Crew neck.
Crew neck today.
Imagine someone was like, I want a sticker.
Honestly, you can have a sticker too,
You
Jen.
can have
We'll
a
give you a sticker and whatever else you want.
Yes. Okay.
How
Drunk
about that?
deeds.
Okay. So this one, I wouldn't even say is like a drunk deed. It's more of just like what's going on in the Boston area, which I thought was kind of cool because I found this on TikTok. Obviously, that's where I get all my news.
We only go on TikTok for our news, by the way. We don't go anywhere else. Why would we?
No. But whoa. Rob Gronkowski posted a TikTok over the weekend, and he is building a $1.2 million playground in Boston for the kids.
For the kids, baby.
How cute is that?
That's adorable.
So basically, and I didn't know this. I didn't realize that he had like a whole like youth foundation. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know either. So it's called the Gronk Nation Youth Foundation, which is dedicated to helping kids through sports, education, fitness, and community development. So basically, him and his foundation donated $1.2 million, and it's an existing playground. It is, what is it called? It's called the Charles Bank Playground, and it's like on the Charles River.
Oh, okay.
But basically, it's getting a little renovation / upgrade.
A little makeover.
Yeah, like it's not like a brand new, like I don't know what they're going to do, honestly. I don't know if they're going to demolish the whole thing and just build from scratch, but if any of you guys have kids or dogs and you bring them to this park / playground,
Kids or dogs,
and you notice that it's different, that's because Gronk, out of the kindness of his heart, just wanted to give the kids the biggest, baddest slide that you could possibly have, and that's words right out of his mouth.
Love that.
He said to get your slippy, slidey shorts ready.
So cute.
I know.
Adorable.
Which I think is so important, though, because I feel like I'm kind of worried for the generations below us. I feel like no one really like goes outside anymore.
Right. Yeah, and it's not to cast judgment because I myself am not really one with the outdoors at all. I like to rollerblade.
Right, but as a kid, you probably grew up.
Yes,
going
of course.
outside.
Like I played outside.
Exactly.
But I feel like for sure, like when we grew up, we were out and about, and I feel like
I wasn't on my phone and my iPad 24/7.
Yeah, the only thing I had was The Sims, and my mom would have to like drag me away from my computer, and she was like, "Go outside, you psychopath, and stop building teeny tiny little houses to encave your Sims."
Go build a fort in the woods.
She was like, "Stop making them light the fire when they don't have their like level 2 cooking certification, and then killing them all in the fire, and then having a bunch of ghosts." She was like, "You crazy person. I'm going to get you therapy." Oh. Anyways, a story for a different day.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids, get outside. Moral of the story.
Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, so that was just a little update for those of you in the Boston area that might not have known. I know you didn't know until I told you.
I didn't know.
Now you know.
Thank you for sharing.
Educated. You're welcome.
Now you know.
Another thing that happened since we were last here is our boy Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live.
Yes. It was something.
I feel like he's one of those people where you either love him or hate him.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Do you like him, hate him, care, don't care?
I don't know. I feel like it varies with the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like him. I think he's a little out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would date him. I think he seems like I don't know. Like, I feel like he just has a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really keep up with him, which I think is good. But I feel like some of the stuff that he comes up with, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And other things, I'm like, okay, don't really know where you're going with that. But
right. Honestly, he is probably, I think he is extremely intelligent. And I would love to just like follow him around for a day. But
follow him.
Yeah. He hosted Saturday Night Live, and I feel like a lot of people had mixed reviews on his performance. So if you didn't get the chance to watch it, he was all over the place. He did a bunch of accents.
Mm-hmm.
He did an Italian accent and this like Wario like skit, like he was like Mario but with a W. He did a cowboy accent. He did a Gen Z impersonation. His mom made an appearance.
Cute.
He even called, so obviously cryptocurrency was mentioned, and he called himself the Doge father.
The Doge father.
Doge. I knew I was gonna butcher that. And I think another thing that I thought was really cool was that he confirmed that he has Asperger's. He was like, yeah, I'm the first person with Asperger's to host SNL, or at least the first person to like admit that they have Asperger's.
Was he being serious, or was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I thought was like honestly awesome, because I feel like there's so many people that probably, you know, have Asperger's and they don't like talk about it, and I think that's awesome that he spoke out about it. Yeah. Did you see that one coming?
That he has Asperger's?
Yeah.
I could maybe see that. I think I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm kind of bad at like detecting things like that, but I could see it, I guess. Yeah, no, I think it's awesome and like brave that he was able to come forward with it. But I know it's interesting because he obviously has been such a big spearheader of Dogecoin. He's been obsessed with it. After he went on Saturday Night Live, so this is my thing. I don't know what Dogecoin is. Like, no one actually knows what it is. It's like a meme, but it's a currency inside of a meme inside of a currency inside of a meme. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? I don't know.
You're asking the wrong person.
And I feel like no one can really explain it. And they were kind of joking about that on SNL. They were like, no one really knows what it is. But after he was on SNL, Dogecoin like just plummeted.
And now I heard, I saw Portnoy tweeted about that.
Yeah, it was just like so bizarre. But then obviously he bought a bunch more. I'm sure he has like a long-term master plan. Like I'm sure he does. But I just find it to be extremely interesting.
You know, like I said, I would love to follow the man around for a day because I think his mind is probably extremely interesting place to be.
Yeah. I'm a big Tesla fan, so.
Honestly, yeah, I would love to own a Tesla one day.
Me too.
All right. Last drunk deet we got for you guys is Bennifer is back.
Bennifer. No.
That's J-Lo and Ben Affleck. Keep up, people.
J-Lo and Ben Affleck. So, okay, there was speculation because last week when we were doing drunk deets, we didn't talk about this because it was so new and it was like, I would say very gossip columny at the time. Like it was like, people saw J-Lo and Ben Affleck talking and I was like, I'm not going to talk about people talking, but they just enjoyed a weekend vacation at Yellowstone Club. Week-long vacation in Yellowstone Club in Montana. I know. So it sounds like they're pretty much, back on, which I think is insane.
Yeah, so I honestly had no idea until now that they were ever previously engaged. So I guess like 17 years ago, they were engaged and they called it off. He gave her a freaking 6.1 carat Harry Winston custom diamond ring.
Okay, so it's basically the Pink Panther.
I can't believe that. Like, do you think she had to give that back?
I don't know, but first off, like my dream is a Harry Winston engagement ring because that's what Chuck Bass gave Blair. But that 6.1 is obnoxious. Like it's like too big. Like I feel like people would be like, that's costume jewelry.
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
big. That's a lot. Wow. Okay. Do you know why? I don't remember why they called off their engagement. It was so long ago. I mean, I
have no idea, but I think it's interesting because Ben Affleck was just in the news for sending a girl. Okay, so he was on Raya, or still is on Raya. And for those of you that don't know, it's basically a dating app for the elite. Like, you don't have to necessarily be a celebrity, but you kind of have to be affluent enough, wealthy enough,
well-known,
relevant enough to get accepted to be in it. Well, I remember when I was single, like a very long time ago, I applied just to see if I could get in. Obviously, I didn't, because who am I? But
I think it's weird though because people who are even like lesser known celebrities, like they make fun of Raya and they're like, oh, it sucks. So I'm surprised that Ben Affleck would go on there.
Right,
I feel like he doesn't need a dating app.
No one needs one, but I guess so. He matched with this girl again. I found this out on TikTok, but I guess he matched with the girl on Raya and she unmatched him. I don't know why or when. Like, I don't know if they talked and then, or if she just matched and unmatched him. But he basically found her Instagram and DM'd her on Instagram and sent her a video of him saying like, why'd you unmatch me on Raya? Like, it's me, it's real. Like, it wasn't a fake profile, like, da-da-da. And I just think that's so weird. But, like, also, like, why are you on Raya messaging other girls and then you're jetting away with J-Lo? Like,
super predatorial. I don't like that.
I'm just
also,
confused.
like, just to be honest, why did she unmatch him? Like, what girl would do that? Unless she was also pretty famous, maybe. But she was like a regular girl. I feel like I wouldn't unmatch Ben Affleck. Like, even if I wasn't interested in him, I feel like I would be like, oh yeah, like look at me, I matched
just
with,
to say that you
like
matched
just
with
for
him.
the clout. Yeah.
I don't know, but like I feel like if someone unmatches you, you kind of just take that and sit
Not
with
the
it.
friggin' celebrities. Like, they have such like a god
Ego.
complex. They're like, no, it must have been a mistake. You know, we always talk about like guys aren't that into you. Like,
Yeah.
the celebrities are the worst because they're so used to people being into them. So he's like, oh no, she must have dropped her phone like in the toilet, or her like ex-boyfriend found it, unmatched me, and like, and it's like, no, dude, like maybe she just like didn't like you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think the whole thing is weird. Like, why after 17 years are they, rekindling the fire? I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what your stance is on exes getting back together, but I feel like if it ended for a reason. And I mean, granted, a lot changes in 17 years, but if it ended back then, it's probably not going to work out now. So why?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so I have like a weird thing with exes getting back together. So I heard about a couple a few years back when I was in college. One of my like friends, they dated all through college. They were like madly in love. They broke up when they graduated. They were like, it's, at this point in their life, like the guy had a career, like they were living in different places, whatever. They break up, clean break. They're broken up for over 8 years. So imagine going like your own direction, no contact, whatever, for 8 years. They randomly run into each other 8 years later, like, I don't remember where, like a coffee shop or a bar or something, reconnect, fall back, madly in love, get engaged, get married, like done. With that being said, I don't think that was the case for J-Lo and Ben Affleck because they ended an engagement. So I'm pretty sure it ended on bad terms. I don't know why, but I feel like that's the only situation in which I think exes can get back together. Like if you ended on good terms and you're like, there's a reason why we're ending things, like we're moving to different places, or like we want to focus on different things. But I think any other reason than that, I don't think it's going to work out. Like the same issues that followed you around earlier in your relationship are going to come back, and people don't change.
Right.
That's the biggest
100%.
thing. So if he was a sketchy cheater like 5 years ago, he's probably going to be a sketchy cheater today, unless he like, I don't know.
Had a come to Jesus moment.
Or like went to extensive therapy, or like went to become a monk for a few years. Like, I don't really know, but like probably going to be the same person.
I feel like people could argue the whole like, well, I feel like if you truly love someone, you never stop loving someone. So it's like easy to rekindle. But like personally, I just think like, why even, there's so many fish in the sea. Like, why are you,
I don't know,
going back?
I also just think it's pretty quick.
That she's moving on.
Yeah. Didn't they just end things like a month ago?
Yeah, but you want to know, like, so my opinion on that is like, I feel like just because they announced it, like, I feel like you can be, but like not even that, but like you can be in a relationship and you can be unhappy for an extremely, extremely long time.
Right.
And
that's true.
Just can't leave. But it's like by the time that you like I feel like when a girl is like moved on in a relationship, like she has a boyfriend, but like she doesn't want to be in that relationship. Like,
Yeah, that's actually a great point. I think when girls reach the point where they're done, like they're done.
They're done.
So maybe she's going on a date with, or like going on a week-long trip with Ben Affleck, but maybe she was like done in her head with, what's his face? Aaron Rodriguez, like a really long time ago.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but however, I still don't support them trying to do whatever the hell
I mean, if
doing.
it works out, good for them, but yeah, I have no idea.
And keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for drunk deets.
Yeah, that's it for drunk deets. Okay, so this past week, as you know, I went on a client visit for work. So I went down to Charlotte, North Carolina last week. It was literally travel from hell. It was like exhausting. I woke up at 4 a.m. My flight got canceled at 7. They decided not to tell me till I was on the way to the airport, and they were like, we'll put you on standby for 4 hours. I was like, okay, great. Sounds perfect.
And you were traveling by yourself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I was traveling.
You didn't have anyone to keep you company at the airport.
No, like I was meeting up with people. We were going to be meeting up in Charlotte, so they're kind of traveling from different parts of from the country. But yeah, I got up at 4, and I literally was, bags packed. I'm like rushing to the airport. I'm in the Uber. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to check my work email. I checked my work email, and the airline had emailed me at like 8:30 p.m. the night before, which like I was already in bed because I was waking up at 4. Actually, no, I wasn't in bed. We were doing sip and dip. Okay, so I was out.
You were out having one too many cocktails.
I was not in bed. Okay, well, I was preoccupied.
Yeah. So basically it's your fault.
I was no, but who checks their work email at like 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, maybe I would, but like I shouldn't have to. Anyways, they'd emailed me at like 8:30 p.m. the night before being like, your flight to Charlotte is canceled. We booked you a new flight for 6 a.m. an hour earlier. So it's like 5:30 in the morning and I'm like, okay, well, clearly I'm not making this. I get all the way to the airport. I'm like talking to the airline. I'm like, can you please get me on another flight? I have a meeting this afternoon. And they were like, well, you can try to make like the 6 a.m. I was like, that's in 20 minutes. I'm not going to make it through security to my gate, get on the plane. Like they're going to shut down the thing in 5 minutes. And they were like, okay. So they're like looking up all these flights. They're like, you can fly out at 3 p.m. I was like, no, like my meeting is at like 5. So finally they're like, okay, we're going to put you on standby for these like 3 flights in a row and see if you can make them. So I'm like, 8 a.m. flight, no. 9 a.m. flight, no. I finally make it onto like a 10:50 a.m. flight. I'm exhausted at that point. I'm like, this is literally the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. I'm so dramatic. It's not, but
it felt like it at the time.
Felt like it. I was so tired. But yeah, so anyways, I go to Starbucks. So I'm like, there's no way in hell I stay awake, and I wanted to get some work done on the plane. So I go to Starbucks and I'm waiting in line to order like my classic caramel macchiato. There's a guy in front of me and he orders a coffee and it comes out and there's like 25 people waiting for Starbucks. It was like prime Starbucks time. So it comes out. It's like the creamiest iced coffee I've seen in my life. Like so like light and fluffy and creamy, and it was like a venti. And he gets it. And he's like a pretty good looking guy. He's like probably in his like late 20s, early 30s, had like a business suit on. He was definitely traveling for work. And he gets this drink, turns around like in front of everyone. There's like a long line. And he looks at the barista and he's like, hey, can I have more cream in this, please? Like really loud. And she was like, okay. She like takes out the cream and like pours it onto his drink, and he's just like watching her, and he's finally like, okay, that's fine. It was literally like white, like stark white, the drink was. And he like confidently puts the cap back on, shoves the straw and starts going to town on it and like walks away. And in my head I was like, what the living hell? Like
he must have the metabolism of like a fucking I don't even know what, because how do you consume that much cream or dairy or whatever it is and not like be constipated for like 2 to 3 business days? Like
I know. Well, also I was just thinking like in my head I was like, okay, am I being super biased towards men that order like super like sugary girly drinks? And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, do you
know what his order was other than the fact that it was creamy?
I want to say it was definitely some sort of like latte with like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff.
It was iced, obviously.
It was iced. Yes.
Was there like caramel drizzle in it?
I don't know. All I could see was a like cloud of white, and I was just lost in the sauce.
See, I like my coffee. If you guys watch Sip and Dip, you know, just like my espresso martinis, I like my iced coffee creamy, but not like white.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to get at though. Like, sorry to be super objective or whatever, gender, I don't know, specific, but you're a girl. I feel like that's okay. Like, you don't get judged as a girl for having a really girly drink.
Well, not girly. I get judged for having a lot of cream, but it's okay.
But like, that's expected of us though. Yeah. If you see a guy like a guy in his 30s that like looks like pretty, like whatever, like manly and whatever, and he orders a girly drink, like what do you think? Does it not matter to you?
Does it matter to me? I mean, it is a little suspicious. Suspicious. It's a little suspicious. At the end of the day, I don't really care what he drinks, but like Mr. Man, for instance, drinks coffee black, and I'm like, how do you enjoy that? But I think I would rather him enjoy it black than white.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Well, that's my other theory though. I'm like, do guys actually like black coffee, or do they think it makes them seem more manly? Like, do you think they genuinely like it black, their coffee?
I don't know how anyone can like their coffee black. I mean, they say it's an acquired taste. Like you have to like train yourself to like it. Like sometimes like I used to do like half and half, and like now I'm trying to do like almond milk or oat milk. Yeah. And I had to train myself to even like my coffee with almond milk. Like I would just like suffer through it. But I mean, Do I care at the end of the day? No, but I do think that it's a little weird.
I don't think you should care in the sense where like it keeps you up at night. I just think it's interesting because when you think about people like first meeting each other, you see a guy out and about. I just like I'm thinking back to college when we used to go to Aroma Joe's, which I told you about. It's like a big New Hampshire thing. So Aroma Joe's is like a coffee place. They have them all over New Hampshire. And in college at UNH, we would go up and order our coffees when we were hungover on Saturday mornings. And the Aroma Joe's baristas, they were always like really cute girls working there.
Yeah.
So all of my guy friends, they would want to order these like really girly, not girly, but sugary drinks. They were called like the Rushes. Like they're basically Red Bulls with flavor shots.
Oh, yeah. We had that.
So they were like, one of them like the Blackjack Rush and the other one like the Strawberry Mango Rush. And they'd make all the girls order them because they didn't want the Aroma Joe's baristas to see them ordering these like super sugary girly drinks.
See, like, it's like both parties. Like, guys need to not give a fuck about what they order, but then girls, on the other hand, need to not judge when they do order.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you need to normalize. You know what it is? It's confidence at the end of the day. I feel like if the guy at the airport, I feel like if I was like a single girl and like I met him and he was like confidently like, you know what? He was like, can I have some coffee with my cream? I feel like the confidence, I'd be like, that's kind of attractive. Like own like whatever you like because everyone has different taste buds.
I see where you're coming from. I think, the confidence, like if you can order it with confidence, and more power to you. However, I'm just like a little concerned for like his arteries, like a little bit. Like I'd want to ask him like, why do you, like, is he drinking it because he doesn't like the taste of coffee, but he needs the coffee, or
I don't know.
You know?
I think it's like...
I have so many questions. I wish you stopped him.
A personal preference. I was too tired to stop him. And I look like a creature. He would have been like, who is this sketchy, like, looking creature? Why is she approaching me? Why is she talking to me? I probably have, like, my neck pillow around my head, like, walking around. And I don't know. But I think it's just, like, drinks at the bar. So, as a girl, I know personally, I like really sugary, girly drinks.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be the type of girl that could like order an old fashioned or something and be like, yeah, I'm so cool. I'm just here drinking my old fashioned. No big deal.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we tried that at least 2 sip and dips. We tried it at Bodega. I know the sip and dip that we're releasing this week at Servia, we tried some different drinks and they were hard to get down.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Like, I don't know. I wonder if there's like a science behind taste buds and like if male to female taste buds like
are differ. They definitely are. Because guys, I feel like guys think it tastes good. When I was a few years ago, I was at some like work event and a bunch of our clients are from West Virginia. And they're all drinking this like stag whiskey. They were obsessed with it. I remember I like was like, yeah, I'll drink it with you guys. And I had like a cup of stag whiskey. And
I don't
remember,
even know what that is.
I like took a sip and my entire like nose, throat like just burned. And I was like trying.
Your sinuses cleared.
I was literally trying my hardest not to like throw up like at this event. And I couldn't handle it, but I was like, like very good.
See, that's the one thing. I've always never been ashamed to order a sugary drink or a sugary alcoholic drink or coffee drink, because at the end of the day, like if I'm paying X amount of money, I want to make sure that I enjoy it, and I'm not gonna like give a fuck if like someone thinks I'm like a baby for ordering the most sugary. Like I literally will be at a restaurant and ask, like I'll be like, okay, I'm deciding between these 2 cocktails, like which one is sweetest?
Yeah. Which one is gonna taste the least?
Which one is
alcohol?
gonna give me the biggest hangover because I want it?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm all about that life. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, let us know when you listen to this episode. DM us if you are a girl out there and you see a guy ordering a mocha java chip frappuccino with extra whipped cream, extra cherries, whatever the hell. Do you think like that guy is hot? He's just dripping with confidence, or are you kind of like, like I'd rather a guy that drank like a nice lukewarm Americano with just nothing to it? Let us know.
Honestly, the first guy is probably way more fun, and the second guy is probably boring.
I think if like you can have if you're not scared to be like, hey, like I want the banana frap, then I don't know. Who knows? maybe you're up for whatever. But
what does your drink choice? Maybe we should do a whole episode about
what does your drink choice say about you?
Yeah, like if you drink X, Y, and Z, this means this.
Yeah, I know. If only. If only. I feel like we like to put ourselves into boxes as humans. We're like, what does this mean? Like we want someone to tell us like who we are. Like so everyone's obsessed with their like moon sign or star sign or whatever the hell. Everyone's like, tell me what I am and what I like because I don't know. I can't figure it out.
All those BuzzFeed quizzes.
Yeah, it's like what is your what is your Gossip Girl something like?
But they have the food ones too.
What does your food choice say about you?
Yes.
You like fill it out and it's like, you're an outgoing, spontaneous idealist who is easy to trust but hard to forgive.
Can we make our own BuzzFeed quiz?
Do we? We just make all answers lead to the same thing. Everyone gets the same result and they're like, oh my God, I totally relate to this. Because you always feel like whatever they say can pertain to you. You're like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh my gosh. Commercial break. Okay, guys, you know the drill. Our presenting sponsor is none other than Manscaped. And Abby, you know what? It's 2021. And if you're a man and your idea of taking care of yourself is a bar of soap in the fucking shower and some Old Spice deodorant, you're wrong.
Absolutely wrong. And luckily for you guys, we are partnered with Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below the waist grooming. And we've got a deal for you guys. So if you don't want to sleep on the couch because your girlfriend is sick of looking at your nose hairs, use code BIGNIGHT for 20% off your order and free shipping.
Free shipping. If you're tired of your girlfriend literally not kissing you, not sleeping next to you, not wanting to look at your face, maybe just grabbing a paper bag and putting it over your head, head over to manscaped.com. They have a wide array of products. So if your issue is above the waist, below the waist, your armpits, I don't know, if you're whatever you're into, whatever your issue is, head over there and they'll be able to take care of you.
Yes. Thank you, Manscaped. And back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Back at it. But yeah, no, honestly, it's been so long since I've gone on a plane by myself. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's different when you're traveling with your friends.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I couldn't tell you the last time. Yeah, the last time I traveled alone was for a business trip, which I don't know how long it's been.
So I was wondering, so I'm sitting there in the middle seat, of course, because I wait till last minute to book my travel. But do you do a little, peek-see, a little peek-a-week-see, a little sneak peek to your
to who's sitting next to me all the time. I do that when I'm not on a plane. I'm
take a little
so
look-see.
nosy.
Oh my gosh, I am so creepy when I'm on an airplane. Like sometimes it's like I'm not even hiding it. Like my seat is fully turned and I'm just like in the person's lap, like scrolling on their phone through
I'm like,
them.
excuse me, sir.
I'm like, wait, is this your
spelled that
ex-boyfriend or like is it? I'm like, does your husband know that you were just like texting that guy? Like, what the hell? But I feel like I'm so creepy, and I'm like, is that normal? Is everyone as creepy as I am? I can't tell.
I think it's split. I think there's definitely people that are so wrapped up in their own world and what they have going on that they don't even realize the people around them. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like especially if we're talking about on a plane specifically, I think I'm such an anxious flyer, so I'm always just looking around at all times.
Okay.
So, but I also want to know who the hell I'm sitting next to. So I'm like, I'm judging the fuck out of you. Whoever's sitting next to me, I'm like, are you low key a undercover cop?
Oh, okay.
Are
so you're trying to figure
low key an undercover terrorist? Are you low key a celebrity? Okay. Are you low key just a regular average Joe,
Okay. So you're trying to figure things out. Like, are you who are you?
Well, when I travel alone, yeah. Okay. Because I have nothing else to do.
I think I try to come up with like the scenario in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's going home to his, wife of 15 years, his 3 children. Like he definitely favors the second child. But like I put so many things together. Like I was sitting next to this chick on the plane, and it's like I was literally keeping track of the type of music she listened to, the podcast she was listening to, like she was listening to like Crime Junkie or something, and her texting conversations, like her background of her phone. And I was like trying to nail down this woman. I was like, oh, this is who she is. This is definitely her profession. She, you know, likes to do this. She likes to do that. She hangs out with this type of people. Like I had her all nailed down. And I was sitting there and I'm like, do people do this to me? Because if people saw the conversations I was having with my friends and the shit that I was like searching for on Instagram and like the podcast I listened to, they'd be like, okay, who is this like 15-year-old sitting next to me?
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's just another conversation.
Another issue.
Whatever you're doing is your business. But I do think when you're sitting in such a close proximity to someone on a plane, you do kind of have to. Sometimes I get paranoid that I tend to listen to the same song over and over, and I always get paranoid that the either one will notice or two, like because they can hear it or they can see that like my phone screen is just the same song over and over.
Oh my gosh, wait, I do the same thing too on airplanes. I get like a song stuck in my head right before I get on the plane, and it's all I can listen to, and I don't want to listen to anything else.
Flying back after New Year's from Florida, on the whole 3-hour plane ride home, I listened to Anyone by Justin Bieber, like probably like 30
I wonder
times.
if it's like a comfort thing, because I do the same thing, and I don't normally do it, but I do it on plane rides. Like I'll listen to the same song for the full 2 hours, and I'm not like sick of it. I just keep listening to it.
Same. That's so weird.
It's
I've
weird.
never like talked about that with anyone.
Neither have I. I feel weirdly validated right now. I thought I was a weirdo up until this moment. And I love how you're so right. You think someone else can hear it.
I know. I'm like,
you take out your headphones and the plane is like, and you're like, okay, no one can hear this.
And also the person next to me has headphones.
And then like a row in front of you, there's a freaking baby, and it's like, and you're like, shut that freaking baby up, someone, for the love of God. Oh my gosh. Yes, not good. I do not like that.
Yeah. Okay, so this past weekend we did another double date.
Yeah, we did.
Which was fun. Friday night we went to the North End. Do you remember where we went? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Shit.
Sarah started with an S.
Sarah, I don't know. You know, we'll post it after this episode comes out. We'll link it.
Yeah, we'll revisit that.
We'll revisit that. The food was really good, so we recommend it, even though we can't remember the name.
There's like 4 levels.
Yeah, there's 4 levels. It was really good.
We got 2 bottles of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us drank more than others.
Yes, Abby definitely drank more than others. She was like going around like filling up all of our cups. She was like, more for you, more for me, more for you, more for me.
That's what good friends do.
Yes, it was magical.
Thank you.
And romantic. And then we went to Cafe Victoria after, which is like a really cute.
That's good for drinks, not drinks after work, but drinks after dinner.
Yeah, like
that's
after dinner drinks, and they also have like pastries and gelato and everything. So we went there and had more drinks, where Mystery Man actually was the one who got a little more buzzed. First it was you, then it was Mystery Man. You guys like switched off. Like you started the night off with a bang, and then he ended it with a bang. But that was such a cute place. So if you go on like a date in the North End, we recommend going there afterwards for like if you want, you know, cappuccino, if you want a drink or gelato, like they have everything. So cute. It was adorable. So then we walked back afterwards, and I don't know. Okay, so something happened. Something occurred on the walk back from dinner. So we were walking back to my apartment, and Abby and Mystery Man were walking in front of us, whatever, like walking super fast, and Michael and I were cruising behind them. And he was like, I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about like where we wanted to like live someday, or I don't even remember, like apartments we wanted to buy or the future. I don't know why. It was dumb. I hate being romantic. Anyways, it was stupid. And he was like, hey, like I really love that you like push me, or that you like challenge me, or something like that. He's like, I love that you push me to, you know, try to do these things, or like accomplish these things in our lives, and like have these really fun, exciting lives. And whatever he said was super cute, but I had this moment, I was just like staring at his eyes, and I was like, okay. I was like, do you ever wonder what it would be like if you were dating a girl that like didn't want those things? That like, you know, was, you know, maybe more comfortable, you know, graduating college and like living in like a smaller town and like didn't want to do these things. And he was like, I mean,
instantly.
And he was like, I mean, not really. And I was like, yeah, but like, do you think you'd be happy? Like if you dated a girl that was like not like me, do you think you'd be happy? And he was like, I mean, I'm like a pretty, you know, content person. Like, I don't know. And I was like, do you think you'd be happier if you were dating someone else? Like, do you think that would make? And he was like, where the hell did this come from? What the fuck? He was like, I'm going down a very dangerous slope right now. And I was like, no, just answer the question. Like, do you think you'd be happier if you graduated college, like settled down, you were already married, you know, with a
boring ass
like
chick.
with a black lab, you know, 2.7 kids, white picket fence. I think that's the average.
I thought you meant like 2 and 1 on the way.
2.7%.
7 months long.
0.7%. I just said. Like I said, we're not good with math. But I was like, would you be happier? And he was like, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Poor bastard. But I was literally just like questioning the hell out of him. And I eventually stopped and he was like, he was like, where did you just go right then? Like, who did you become? Like, who is this demon?
Spiraled.
And like, who replaced my girlfriend in the span of like 2.5 seconds? And I was like, I don't know. And it just hit me. I was like, as girls, I feel like I don't know what it is. We ask questions that we're scared to hear the answers to. Like we like start questioning a guy and we know that there's no right answer. Mm-hmm. Like damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, whatever he says, it's gonna hurt
setting him up to fail.
Yes, but why do we do
that? Oh God. That's a good question. I feel like I used to do that a lot growing up. I feel like I'm starting to grow out of it.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm just sick of getting my feelings hurt. I feel like I get my feelings hurt one too many times. You just stop doing it. But no, I think you're right. I think girls especially, they ask questions that they don't want to hear the answer to.
Yes.
But like me personally, I'm just like a very like I don't know how to say this correctly, but like I'm like an impulsive person in the sense where it's like I don't think before I speak. And a lot of the times I regret saying things and like asking things and doing things. Like I will say something or ask something and I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. But it's already out there.
Right.
But like I still want to know, but I don't want to know. Because I know I'm not going to like the answer, but I still want to hear it.
Yes, you can't help.
And most times we already know the answer.
Right. And also like I feel like, so if you're talking to a guy, in this example, if he was like, no, Shannon, like I don't think I'd be happy with anyone else, or I don't think I'd be happy with that sort of life, I'd be like, oh my gosh, he's lying. Like I wouldn't believe him. I'd be like, oh no, he's just saying.
And you completely disregarded the really nice thing that he said.
Yes.
And like I relate because it's like nothing is ever good enough. Like no matter what they say, like you're not going to be content because you have these fake like ideas and thoughts in your head. Yes. And like you have like this fake storyline, and if they don't match up to your fake storyline, you're like, all right, well, you're lying.
Yes, you assume they're lying and you're like, oh, he's just saying that, and you're not happy until he tells you the answer you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Which then makes you upset.
So insane if you think about it.
Like we've all asked questions, especially growing up, like, oh, like your ex-girlfriend, like what was she like? Did you ever think that her hair was really pretty? Like was she like, I'll never forget, I was dating this guy in high school and I don't even know how the hell this came up, but we were talking about how like, this is so weird. We were talking about like something with like working out or having abs, and somehow it came up in conversation that his ex-girlfriend like had abs, and I was like, well, did you like the fact that she had perfect abs and I don't? And he was just like, no, I mean like they were like, you know, it was kind of like she was like too muscular. I'm like, too muscular? I was like, that's a freaking lie. I was like, you wish you were dating her, like you wish you were still with her. And he was like, what the
my God, let's keep in mind that this was a high school relationship, so you're probably talking about like
probably a little
freshman year of high school relationship.
Yeah, like, I mean, no, it was later than that, but yeah, definitely an immature relationship. But I think you have an idea in your mind about something, and you can't stop. Like you can't stop questioning the guy until he gives you an answer. And I'm like wondering if like there's any point other than just to start a fight, or like just because we're obsessed with the drama, like we just need drama. I don't know what it is, because there's no like other outcome except for fighting or drama.
I mean, do you think there was a piece of you in that moment that was like generally curious?
Yeah, I'm sure I was. Or maybe I was literally just trying to start conversations. And then as soon as it like went that direction.
Or do you think that, I mean, earlier in this episode you said, or no, you started off the story saying, ew, I hate being romantic. Do you think because he said something that was like kind of romantic, your instant reaction is to like stop put a halt to all romance? Like,
how do I kill this moment?
Like, how do I kill this moment?
Where's the
start
kill
a fight.
switch?
Start a fight.
Oh, romance, start a fight. That's my version of romance, just fighting.
Yeah. Do you think? Do you think intimacy? Do you have intimacy issues?
I think maybe I'm a fighter, not a lover. I could see that.
Do you think you have intimacy issues?
Maybe.
Like, do you think, any sign of intimacy?
I don't wear
socks
I don't wear socks to bed. Isn't that like the thing?
Well, if you wear socks to bed, you're a psychopath. Who wears socks to bed?
I thought that like if you wore socks to bed, it meant you have intimacy issues. Am I just making that up? I don't know.
I mean,
I'm gonna look that up.
I could see that because if you wear socks to bed, you're a psychopath and you probably do have intimacy
You probably
issues.
do have intimacy issues. I don't know. I actually don't think there's an answer to this one. But all I know is that all girls do it. And even like this week I was asking our listeners, I was like, let us know if you have any questions or things you want us to go over in the podcast this week. And we got a few responses. And one of the girls, she said, I'm going to pull it up.
About the phone.
Yeah, it was just like a classic. She said,
that was a good one.
It's just classic. And I feel like we've all been there. She's like, to or not to look through your boyfriend's phone, even if you don't have any trust issues. And it's like,
curiosity killed the cat. I feel like it's the unknown. The unknown is scary. And so they want to see what's in their phone. Like, even if you think your boyfriend is the most loyal, trustworthy person, like, you just want to take a peek.
Yeah. And I think you want to take a peek because you just want to know what's out there. But there's another part of me that's like, you know for a fact that if you go on your partner's phone, he could be the most honest, perfect angel, sweetheart, baby, puppy in the entire world. But you are going to find something that you don't like on there.
Right.
You will. I don't care if he is, and I think we've said this before, I don't care if he's texting his friends from work or if it's his girl best friend or a long distant cousin that you don't know about. Like, you're gonna see like a winky face or a funny, like, could be taken as flirtatious text, and you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
you just are. So then I'm wondering, like, do we as girls secretly, like, are we looking to find that drama? Like, is that what keeps us alive? I don't know. Let me know.
That's a very deep question. But like, I know I'm like that, but is everyone like that? Like, I would love to know.
Want to go through your partner's phone or want to have drama?
Like,
both.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I feel like if you went through your partner's phone and you didn't find anything, like, do you feel good or are you kind of just like...
No, then I'd just be like, they deleted it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're never going to be like...
Nothing's ever good enough.
Yeah, like, you're like, okay, well, clearly he knew I was going to look at his phone tonight, so he wiped everything, and, like, I'm sure he's storing it somewhere else or whatever, but I don't know. I think we just kind of, like, look for that drama, to be honest. It's healthy.
I hate being a girl sometimes.
DM us and let us know if you have ever caused a fight off of literally nothing and what that fight was and what it led to. We're super curious.
Yeah, we'll share the best answers
next week.
Okay. After we just, showcased how psychotic we are, let's do a complete 180 and discuss something that we've never really talked about before.
Yes.
So I'm sure most of you have seen by now since we're like halfway through May, but May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
And it's something that's super important that I think not enough people talk about. And I think at least Shannon and I, we wanted to briefly just discuss some things like that we have struggled with, things that we've noticed, and, just open up the conversation. Because I think that's like step one in trying to like end the stigma around mental health. Because I think there's such like a negative, like people like don't talk about it. They're not very open about their struggles, but it's actually extremely common.
I 100% agree. It's so common.
And I think like I feel like when you think of like mental health, like people automatically they go to depression and anxiety. Those are like the two most commonly talked about ones. But there's actually like a shit ton of other mental health, like mental illnesses that people don't talk about. And that's like, you know, OCD, PTSD, eating disorders, mood disorders, schizophrenia, like personality disorders, panic disorders. Like there's literally so many things. So many illnesses out there, and I feel like people just talk about depression, anxiety, and while those are two horrible things that people, you know, I think most people at least once in their life probably struggle with it. There's a lot out there, and with mental health, we just want to bring awareness to it. And I know I can speak for myself. I've definitely struggled with a boatload.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the reason we wanted to bring it up is because obviously there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people kind of dealing with different things. I think first and foremost, the most important, or not the most important thing, but an important thing that we wanted to emphasize is that I do believe that like your mental health it's personal to you, right?
Right.
So I think that everyone deals with different things. And while I think it's extremely important to be able to support people, I think it's equally as important to understand that like what might have been the answer for you or what you might have dealt with and been, you know, your saving grace may not be the case for someone else.
Right. You know, I agree. I think so. First of all, if you have the courage to seek help or seek treatment, I think that's in and of itself something to be applauded for. I think a lot of people, they struggle silently and on their own. Like they're not talking about it with them. They might not even talk about it, like never mind their friends, but just their family too. Like they literally might be completely alone. And to be able to speak up to at least one person that you feel comfortable with and be like, hey, you know what? I'm having these thoughts and feelings and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to help myself. I just know I don't want to feel like this anymore. It takes a lot of courage.
Right.
And for myself, I've been in therapy since literally probably elementary school.
Really?
Yeah. Like my mom, I've been in and out of therapy for a very long time. My mom put me in therapy when I was probably in like elementary school.
Oh, wow.
I was a freaking, God bless her, because I was a terror child. I was a terror. But, you know, me personally, I was diagnosed with mild depression and generalized anxiety years ago, and I never did anything about it because I was like, no, like, I'm fine. Like, I don't, like, fit not the criteria, but, like, the image. Like, people are like, oh, like, I can't get out of bed. Like, I can't do this. I can't do that.
And
but
maybe that wasn't the case for you, but that didn't mean that you didn't have it.
Right. I mean, I didn't do anything about it until, I mean, I was always in and out of therapy, but it wasn't until actually this past summer I had a panic attack and I was like, oh shit. Like I had one, I could probably count on one hand how many panic attacks that I've had, but it was probably the first one in a very long time. And I think that was kind of like a wake up call. I feel like you have to hit rock bottom to really, you know, want to change. And for me, that panic attack this past summer was hitting rock bottom. And I was like, oh no, like I can't keep living like this. Mm-hmm. Like, and so I suffer from ADD. And so I already have a psychiatrist and a psychologist. For those of you that don't know the difference, a psychologist is one that diagnoses you. And then the psychiatrist is the one that prescribes you. So a psychologist can't like actually prescribe medicine. So that's why you have to go to a psychiatrist. But it wasn't until then when I was like, you know what, like I hadn't even opened up because I've had multiple therapists, multiple psychologists throughout my life. You know, moving to Boston, I had to get all new ones. And for the longest time, when I moved to Boston, I was like, oh, I got to get all new people. And like, now I have new health insurance. Like I probably like can't go to the ones that I was going to in Rhode Island. And so I put it off. Like, for over 2 years, I put it off until this past summer. And I was like, you know what? I need to make my mental health a priority. Like I have really good health insurance and there's no reason not to, but it took hitting rock bottom for me to get help. And so I finally got prescribed Ativan for panic attacks. And she was like, you know what, Abby, like I'll prescribe you 5 at a time. and you can just keep them with you, use them as you need them. And I was like, okay, fine, cool. But I had this like, I don't know what you'd even call it, but I was like, I don't want to take it. Like, I shouldn't have to take it. I just want to feel okay without it. And I've always been the type of person where like, I don't want to take, like, I didn't want to take, like when I was diagnosed with like generalized anxiety, I was like, I don't want to take a pill every single day for the rest of my life. Like, I want to get to the root of the problem and try to fix it myself.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people have that struggle where it's like, you have to help yourself. Like, just because some people, they need that. They need everyday medicine to feel okay and to get up out of bed and to function, like literally to be a functioning person in society. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, I'm just very stubborn, I feel. And I was like, no, I'll take the prescription, but I'm not going to take it. And then lo and behold, a couple months later, I needed it and I had it. And it was the most comforting feeling to have it.
Exactly. And like, that's like what you said. No, there's not like a one size fits all, right? So like you mentioned, there's some people who need to take medication every single day. Like, you didn't need that, but taking the pill at one time did help you, and it helped you get through it. And maybe in the future it calms you down knowing that you have it. So yeah, I do think that everyone's different. And I think that like in the culture that we live in, it's so important that if you're dealing with something, I think you should get help. I think you should try your best to find someone to help you, whether that's relying on friends and family first if you don't feel comfortable getting, professional help. But I think the biggest thing is that I cannot stress enough, people supporting you, being there for you, a shoulder cry, super important. But don't let anyone ever tell you what your path needs to be or like what your journey needs to be. So for example, like I've dealt with anxiety before in my life, but I have not dealt with anxiety like my whole life. I've gone through seasons of feeling anxious, and it's usually due like circumstantial, like it's due to like, okay, I'm going through a stressful time in my job, or there's stuff going on in my personal life, but I've never just felt anxiety just because. So for me to go and give advice to someone who deals with anxiety on a daily basis, like that's not that it's not fair to them, but it's not exactly my place because I don't live inside their head. I don't know what's going on in their head. So I think the number one thing you can do for your loved ones, people that you meet, is be there for them. Let them talk to you. Let them confide in you. Try to understand, but also try to encourage them to, seek professional help, to see a therapist, to see a psychologist. Because in the end of the day, as much as I think it's important to be there for people, you can't really. It gets a little dicey, I think, to try to tell people what to do with their what they're going through.
I agree, because you really don't know unless you've been there, and you also don't know unless you're in that person's head. So, some people, they want to do the holistic approach. Like they don't want to do medicine every single day. They want to do, I don't even know what holistic people do. Like, I don't know how that treatment plan is, but I know that they're kind of, anti pharmacy.
Well, I know some people will take like 5 like HTP or like melatonin to help them sleep and things. And for some people that might work. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like it might work for you to do that, or to, I don't know, take certain like supplements or herbs, or, I mean, some people, they're like, I work out and I feel better, which obviously it sounds like they may have like a milder condition of, whatever it is that they might have. But that doesn't work for other people. And I think if you're someone that needs to take medication daily, that doesn't make you weak. It doesn't, like, that's fine. It's just because you're dealing with something different than someone else's. And I think that is completely understandable. And I think also, like, one of the most important things on the subject too is that you are not alone. There is so many times in my life where I've felt so out of place and weird, and I thought that my thoughts were not normal and that I was strange and like out there. And the more that I felt that way, the more that it made me not want to, get close to other people and share my thoughts with them. When I started doing that, I realized that often the things that like I would feel weird about or anxious about, or the weird thoughts that I would have, like a lot of people that I knew were like, oh my gosh, I go through the exact same thing.
Right.
And it kind of gave me like a comfort knowing like, okay, I'm not alone in this. Like there's other people that go through similar things. So I think that like the faster you can find a support system to rely on and just at least talk to people, like you're going to be so surprised by the amount of people that are going through the same thing that can kind of be there for you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, like I said earlier, I think mental health awareness month is really just bringing awareness to it, because I feel like everyone, like I said, everyone is going to suffer from something at least once, at least one part in your life. Like sometimes mental illness, it can be genetic even, and you have a family history of X, Y, and Z, but also like PTSD, you suffer a post-traumatic stress from an event that happened.
Incident,
You loss of a family member, loss of even a pet.
Right.
There's so many things that can happen throughout life, or if you haven't experienced it yet, that doesn't mean that you won't in the future, which I know isn't the greatest thing to look forward to, but it's just important to know that just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean that you can't be, mindful of others that, might be struggling a little bit more.
Exactly. I agree. 100%. I think being there for each other, finding a support system, finding an actual support system, you know what I mean, is I think important too. And there's a ton of those types of places in the city as well. So
I know we joke on here all the time about me ghosting my therapist, but I truly believe that everyone should be in therapy. Like even people that don't think that you need to be in therapy, you need to be in therapy. Like and it's such like a hard thing, because me personally, like I don't like opening up to anyone, never mind a stranger.
Right.
But there's almost kind of like a comfort in knowing that, like, because sometimes like you vent to your friends, like you even if you do have a great support system, like after some point, like you start to feel like a burden. You don't want to like burden your friends with all your thoughts like all the time, but you go to a therapist and you have someone who's unbiased, who doesn't know like your friends and family personally. Like they're just going based off of facts, off of what you tell them, and they don't have that bias like, oh well, they probably meant X, Y, and Z. Like no, they're gonna tell you like the facts based off of the facts, and
not based off of knowing anyone or any like preconceived notion. That's a great point, actually.
No, and I mean the hardest struggle is finding someone that, at least for me, finding someone that I wanted to. And that's why I've been like in and out of therapy so much, because like there comes a point where I'm like, this person can't serve me anymore. Like my most recent therapist, I was like, I don't think we're like compatible, and that's okay. But like for me, like it's exhausting having to find someone that's the right fit. But once you find someone, it's so worth it. It's worth all the trial.
What do you recommend for someone that's like trying to find a therapist? Like what are the steps you should take? Like if you're new to the city and like you don't know anyone, like what do you think you should do?
That's a good question. There's a lot of websites out there that can help. Like literally, I think someone should make like a Tinder but for therapists. Like I think that would be like really helpful. Match people.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
But
we can share this information too.
psychologytoday.com. That's a website where you can find a lot of people. But I know for the place that I go to, when I first joined, like when I first became like a patient, I don't know what you want to call it. I literally went on their website and I like went to all of their like people, and I narrowed it down to just females, because I was like, nope, I just want to do a female. And I read every single bio of every single person, and I was like, okay, like they specialize in X, Y, and Z. I don't think like they're gonna, I think like they can't handle me, or maybe or they handle people that are, more complicated than me. And I kind of just narrowed it down by that. But I think like just because if you try one person, it doesn't mean like you have to stick with them.
Right. And if you try one person, it does not work out, and you're like, this isn't working, I don't click with this person, then that doesn't mean that you're doomed. You can find someone else.
Right. And they're not going to be offended either if you're like, this isn't working for me.
Personality fit is huge. But honestly, if you're listening to this, and especially if you're new to the area, you don't know anyone, you want to seek help, you want a support system, please honestly slide into our DMs, let us know, and we'll do our best to try to at least get you the resources to connect you to the right place. Because I know it's a lot of...
If you want someone to vent to, we're here to listen.
Yes, exactly.
But we're so happy to be a part of Big Night, because they realize the importance of this month, and for the entire month of May, any big night restaurant that you visit, if you order the Making Me Happy cocktail, $2 from every cocktail purchase will be donated to the Mental Health America Foundation.
Absolutely. Yes.
So couldn't be happier that, they are supporting this amazing cause. So get your drink on and know that you're helping people.
Absolutely. And don't be scared to make some, resolutions too. Like I know for myself, I'm going to try to ease back a little bit on the drinking and ease up a little bit on the sleeping. I've been so overtired for the past 3 months of my life. So I'm just going to make a little goal to myself to try to take care of myself a little bit more and get some more sleep and drink less, which is hard with sip and dip, but we'll figure it out.
I know. Sometimes this brand is a blessing and a curse. You have to
it's
drink
it's not good for my jeans either because of all the drinking. And I'm like, I am wearing my not so thin pants today, but it's okay. It's fine. We're getting through it. But guys, that's all we had for this week. So thank you so much again for tuning in every single week. It really means the world to us to have such an amazing support system, amazing listeners, friends that honestly have become so close. It's great that some of you who DM us all the time, we're on a first name basis and we, kind of just chit chat all the time. So don't be a stranger. Don't be scared to reach out. If you are listening to this on Apple, please don't forget to subscribe and also leave us a rating and review. 5 stars would be great. If you want to give us 3 or 2, we understand. As long as you're giving us some sort of a star. Not 1. Don't give us 1 star. 1 star is stupid.
No.
At least 3.
Yeah.
If not 4.
If you haven't yet already, join our private Facebook group. It's Drinks After Work Boston Baddies. If you're a girl in the Boston area looking for new friends or looking for new places to get drinks after work, it's an amazing community. There's some exclusive discounts in there for, hair and spray tans and all that good stuff. And link in bio to buy our merch. Shout out to that girl Jen for winning this merch giveaway, but there'll be plenty more.
And we have some new fun ideas dropping soon for the summer, just in preparation for all of the Southeast Sundays and bar season. So keep on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much for watching every single week, and we'll see you next week, baddies.
Bye.
Bye.